I want to talk about hunger today. Not hunger in the way you've probably been told to think about it. Not you need more protein hunger. Not drink more water and wait 20 minutes hunger. I want to talk about the hunger that showed up sometime in your early to mid 40s and never left. The kind where you eat a full meal, a good meal, the same meal that used to hold you for 4 hours, and 30 minutes later, something is scanning behind your ribs, low in your abdomen, not acute, not sharp, just present, unresolved. And you've probably been told that's emotional eating or stress eating or just menopause. I want to be direct with you. That dismissal is wrong and it's costing you. Because what I'm going to walk you through today is the biology of why your hunger actually changed. Not metaphorically, not emotionally, structurally, at the level of your gut lining, a specific bacterium, and a hormone your body can no longer regulate the way it used to. This is the perimenopause reset. I'm Miriam, and today we're talking about the hunger that is not yours. So let me introduce you to something most of you have never heard of. There's a bacterium that lives in the mucosal lining of your gut. It's called Akkermansia muciniphila. It was first isolated in 2004, and in the last decade, it's become one of the most studied microbes in metabolic research. Here's what it does that matters for this conversation. Akkermansia produces a protein. Researchers have named it P9 that directly stimulates your intestinal L cells to secrete a hormone called GLP-1. GLP-1. You may have heard this name because of the weight loss drugs, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro. Those drugs are synthetic GLP-1 receptor agonists. They mimic what your body produces naturally, but at pharmacological doses far higher than what your gut generates on its own. I'm not saying that restoring your gut bacteria replicates what those drugs do. I'm saying your body has its own version of this system, and that system has been disrupted. GLP-1 is one of the key hormones involved in your satiety signaling. It's produced by specialized cells in your intestinal wall, L cells, primarily in response to nutrients hitting your gut after a meal. The food itself is the main trigger, but gut bacteria like Akkermansia amplify and sustain that signal. Think of it this way. The meal fires the signal. Akkermansia extends it. It's the difference between a cue that spikes and fades and one that persists long enough for your brain to register that the meal was enough. And Akkermansia doesn't do this through just one pathway. It secretes P9, which binds to a receptor called ICAM2 on your L cells and triggers GLP-1 release. It also produces propionate, a short-chain fatty acid that activates GLP-1 through a completely separate receptor. Multiple mechanisms, one bacterium, all contributing to the message that you're satisfied. This is published research. 2021, Nature Biology. Yoon and colleagues identified P9 and demonstrated that it was sufficient on its own to induce GLP-1 secretion in both cell models and in mice. The pathways have been replicated and expanded in multiple studies since. Now, here's where the menopause transition enters the picture. A study published in M Systems, part of the Hispanic Community Health Study, one of the largest longitudinal microbiome studies in the United States, found that Akkermansia muciniphila was significantly depleted in postmenopausal women compared to premenopausal women. It was one of 7 species that showed meaningful decline after adjusting for age and other variables. A separate study, the Microbiome and Insulin Longitudinal Evaluation Study, or MILES, found the same pattern. Women who had undergone early menopause showed reduced Akkermansia alongside shifts toward more inflammatory gut species. Now, I want to be precise about what we know and what we are synthesizing. No single study has followed women from perimenopause through postmenopause, measured their Akkermansia levels, tracked their GLP-1 output, and correlated it to their satiety behavior. That study hasn't been done yet, but the individual links in this chain are each well supported. Akkermansia contributes to GLP-1 signaling. Menopause depletes Akkermansia. GLP-1 is a key satiety hormone. When you put those together, the clinical picture is consistent with what so many women describe: hunger that shifted in quality, not just quantity, during the menopause transition. And here's what matters. This depletion is happening on top of what you're eating and how much you are exercising. Your behavior didn't change. Your body did. Estrogen decline reshapes the composition of your gut microbiome. That is a biological event. And one of its downstream consequences appears to be a diminished capacity to sustain the signal that tells your brain a meal was enough. Akkermansia decline also is not unique to menopause. It declines with age, with aging broadly. But estrogen loss appears to accelerate that decline. The menopause transition doesn't just bring hormonal shifts. It fast tracks changes in your gut that were already in motion. Now, if you're listening to this and thinking, this is exactly what I've been feeling, I want you to know that this pattern shows up differently depending on your specific metabolic profile. Now, I have built a free gut hormone pattern quiz that identifies which of 4 hormonal patterns is dominant for you, because this hunger disruption looks different in a cortisol dominant body than it does in an insulin dominant body. The quiz takes about 3 minutes. The link is in the show notes, okay? Now, this is why I named the second phase of the tri-shift method the rhythm shift. In the first phase, the nourishment system shift, we address the chronic stress signaling that perimenopause amplifies. The HPA axis dysregulation, the cortisol pattern that's running your metabolism like it is under threat. But once the nervous system has enough safety input to begin recalibrating, the next layer reveals itself, and that layer is rhythm, meal timing, circadian alignment, gut integrity. The cues your body sends and receives around food, around sleep, around metabolic cycling. Akkermansia lives in this layer. GLP-1 modulation lives in this layer. Your satiety architecture lives in this layer. And here's what I need you to understand. You cannot discipline your way past a depleted fullness cue. You cannot force yourself into feeling full when the biological infrastructure for fullness has been structurally undermined. Every time someone tells you to just eat more fiber, or just eat more slowly, or just drink water before meals, they are giving you behavioral advice for a biological problem. This is not a behavior problem. This is a rhythm problem, a gut lining problem, a microbial depletion problem with a hormonal accelerant. So when you sit down to dinner and feel satisfied for 20 minutes, and then that restless scanning starts again, that is not you being undisciplined. That is your body accurately reporting that the fullness message was incomplete. The meal was adequate. The infrastructure behind it was not. That is metabolic intelligence. And the fact that you can feel it, that you notice something changed, means your body is communicating with precision. The question is not, why can't I control my hunger? The question is, what happened to my hunger regulation, and can it be repaired? And the answer is yes, in the right context. I say in the right context deliberately, because here's what the research also shows, and this is the part most people in this space leave out. In estrogen deficient mice on a high-fat diet, Akkermansia supplementation actually worsened blood sugar regulation. One study found it exacerbated metabolic dysfunction in that specific hormonal context. This is why I get very direct about sequencing. The tri-shift method exists because the order in which you intervene determines whether the intervention helps or harms. You do not start with gut repair if your nervous system is still in a threat state. You do not supplement without knowing your metabolic pattern and your hormonal context. When the context is right, when the nervous system work has been done, when the pattern is identified, when the intervention matches the terrain, Akkermansia is one of the most responsive gut species to targeted intervention. The European Food Safety Authority approved pasteurized Akkermansia for human use in 2021 after clinical safety data was confirmed. Restoration is real, but restoration without context is a gamble. And you have had enough people gamble with your health. Listen, inside of our free online community Nourish and Flow Circle, this is exactly what we are working on right now. April is Nourishment Shift Month. We are building mineral awareness, archetype-specific nutrition strategies, and gut rhythm literacy. If what I'm describing today sounds like the conversation you've been waiting to have, I want you to know that the circle is where it continues, okay? The link is in the show notes. Now, I want to close with something that I think matters more than the science, if you can believe it or not. If you have spent the last 2 or 3 years believing that your hunger was a character flaw, that you were weak, that you had lost control, that menopause had taken something from you that made you less disciplined than you used to be, I want you to hear this clearly. Your hunger changed because your gut changed, because your hormones changed. Let me say that again. Your hunger changed because your gut changed, because your hormones changed. That is a cascade with a biological origin, not a personal one. And the fact that you felt it, the fact that you noticed meals were not landing the way they used to, that something felt urgent and unresolved in a way it never had before, that was not your body failing you. That was your body reporting with precision what was shifting at the level of your gut lining. Akkermansia declining, GLP-1 modulation diminishing, your satiety architecture changing. Feeling that shift is not weakness. Feeling that shift is metabolic literacy, trusting what your body is telling you and learning the language it's speaking in. That is the rhythm shift, and it is restorable. If you want to know your specific pattern, I want you to take the free gut hormone pattern quiz. 3 minutes. It's in the show notes. And if you want the community where this becomes a practice, not just a podcast you listen to once, I want you to join us inside Nourish and Flow Circle. It is free, and it's the conversation you've been looking for. I'm Miriam. This is the Perimenopause Reset, and I will see you next week.